GCB's team consists of Lugia, Solgaleo, I think that's how you pronounce it, Rhyperior, Kyurem, Conkeldurr, and Ampharos. And GCB told me that they were hesitant in terms of selecting Lugia as their first pick, but ultimately ended up being pretty solid. Even though it's a little bit underwhelming in GBL, it is pretty solid in this draft format. And then pairing it up with some debuffers like Rhyperior and Solgaleo and Kyurem. Again, these movesets here are not the actual moveset they could be using, because it is in this draft format they can change movesets by round. And then actually first round opponent is not Heater. Oh, okay. It's actually Gucci Gang. GCB's team consists of Lugia, Solgaleo, Rhyperior, Kyurem, Conkeldurr, and Ampharos. The moveset here is not actually the movesets that are going to be used in this particular round. Since it is a draft format, they can change movesets per round. And GCB said that they were hesitant in terms of selecting Lugia just because it's very underwhelming in GBL, but it's actually quite strong in this draft format. And pairing it up with, or teaming it up with debuffers like Solgaleo, Rhyperior, and Kyurem makes some of the games win purely based off a stat product. First round opponent is a Gucci Gang 95, who has Zacian, Zekrom, Landorus, Golisopod, Mega Venusaur, and Avalog. I believe Avalog actually has actually, no, that's the other Avalog, Hisuian Avalog. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a best of 4 format. Whoever has the most wins after the entire draft tournament is the one that actually wins. So that's why 4 games doesn't really matter that much, whether it's 2, 3, or 4. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look and see how this is gonna play out. It looks like they're taking their time here. We're going to see Rhyperior into Zekrom. We're going to see what moveset this Rhyperior has. It does have Smackdown here, so it does not have the super effective Mud Slap against Zekrom, which is why it's staying in. And interesting. Okay, going to throw the Rock Record, and they're going to catch on Zacian. Catch, right? So you're going to build up some energy, then probably look to switch out to Solgaleo. Okay, nope. Gonna let this go. Interesting. They do throw the play rough. Gonna look to farm down with Solgaleo, I assume. And looks like this is the quick attack variant, so we'll make it to the close combat. Do you end up shielding this? Not gonna shield. Close combat does do neutral damage. And we're gonna see what's gonna come in. Is it going to be the Zekrom? No, it's actually going to be Landorus here, which is very tricky for the team to deal with, but probably going to switch here. And that actually does quite a bit of damage. We're going to see what this Landorus does. I'm assuming he's going to throw Superpower and look to bail, because it can switch out. It does actually throw the Stone Edge. And going to throw the Glaciate at this Zekrom. And this game looks like it's going to be a wrap. And you're probably going to let this go. Oh, okay, going to shield this. Okay, interesting. Gonna shield, gonna look to farm all the way down and look to glaciate this this Landorus, but this game's over here, right? This glaciate's just gonna seal the game, and the opponent decides not to shield because the game was pretty much over at that point in time. So nicely played, really nicely played. Throwing the Rock Rocker and catching it on Zacian was really well done. Zacian obviously pretty strong into this team. Solgaleo is like the main counter for it, but can still do some pretty nice damage to Solgaleo. But it did look like it was a quick attack variant of Zacian, which does make the Solgaleo matchup a little bit better, since the Snarls would be super effective. So gonna lead Lugia and gonna have the same back lion. I said lion out. That was like a Pokemon slip there, just because of the Solgaleo. I guess Solgaleo looks like a lion. Is that the biology of it? So steal a lion? I don't know. Anyways, and we're gonna see what Gucci Gang is going to select for the second game here. Lots of contemplating here. GCB checking the time, saying, what's taking it so long? Gucci Gang's like, I gotta be thinking. Gonna be tapping on my forehead, thinking about what Pokemon to use, maybe trying to use some prediction power here. Are we gonna see? What's it gonna be? Okay, no, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna see Lugia into Zekrom. Good lead here. Gonna be able to deal super effective damage with these Dragon Tails, even though the Sky Attack and Aero Blast are both resisted. We're gonna see a Fusion Bolt here, Wild Charge, Crunch. They actually do see the Crunch. It does drop the defense, which certainly makes the matchup a little bit better. Gonna go for the Aero Blast. This would KO the come pretty close to KOing the Zekrom. They actually elect to shield. They're gonna go for the full farm down here. Oh, just barely not able to get there. Do you come Kyurem here, or do you come... Okay, gonna come Solgaleo here. Actually gonna choose to no shield here. Interesting move. And another defense drop that is very unfortunate. This probably would KO if it is a Fusion Bolt. Okay, no, if it's a... I don't know why I said Fusion Bolt there. And we see the Zacian in the back. This is very tricky here. These Dragon Breath are double resisted, and the Glaciate does guarantee the debuff. Are we going to see the play rough? Are we going to see the close combat? We do see the play rough come through here. Gonna throw another Glaciate at this Zacian. They do end up shielding. Does drop the attack again. So it's likely a Lando in the back, right? They actually elect to throw the close combat. Oh, it's actually going to be a Mega Venusaur. This is actually pretty good here. Going to build up some energy. Should be able to... Well, this Mega Venusaur Sludge Bomb probably going to do a decent amount. It's not enough. Resisting the Vine Whips too. And we're going to see the Glaciate. Is this going to be enough to take out Mega Venusaur? We will find out. It is not enough. Going to have to try to farm down. And is able to farm down. Oh, but this Zacian has a move banked. Throwing the close combat, losing CMP to Zacian. Very nicely played by the opponent. That was a really exciting game there. Obviously, they could have just thrown the close combat at the... I guess didn't want to risk getting caught there. All right, so running a team, again, ABA week 2 Zacian here. Though Lugia is not the worst matchup since there is no Wild Charge, but the Dragon Tails are both double resisted, so Zacian looking pretty strong into this team, but we will see how this is going to play out. Gucci Gang thinking about what to do, what to bring. I'm going to try to speed this along here. Okay, we see a Kyurem into Landorus. This is a good matchup for Kyurem, since the Glaciate is a double super effective. But we will see how the opponent is going to play this. They do end up shielding. The attack does drop, and we do see likely another Stone Edge. But we will... Oh, that does actually still quite a bit of damage. Gonna throw the Dragon Claw. Just barely surviving that Stone Edge. And we will see Zacian come through. Gonna be able to reach the Glaciate, which does some nice neutral damage. And we're gonna see the Solgaleo come in. Okay, gonna switch out, and we're gonna see Zekrom versus Lugia, as we saw in the lead previously. Gonna let this go. Still a tricky situation here. They do throw the crunch. Will not get the third debuff here. Gonna bait with this Sky Attack, which I like this play here because it does put pressure onto the Zekrom to throw. Probably gonna let this go, I would imagine, and then farm up. This game's over here, right? Doesn't even need to farm. Actually, can just throw and take out this Zekrom. The poison Psychic Fangs don't do a lot of damage, but the Zekrom is very low, and this match is definitely over. can just safely shield this, or no shield, doesn't really matter. The Iron Head is going to be coming. They're actually choosing to play rough here. Guess they didn't want to debuff themselves, but either way, the Iron Head or even the Flamethrower would have been probably pretty close to enough. And GxCxB taking game number 3. And it looks like they do lock in relatively quick on this next one here, but we're going to speed it up here. Okay, we're going to see... Oh my goodness. We're going to see Solgaleo, Lucky Leo into Avalog. But this is still a tricky situation here. It's not a straightforward matchup to win Switch here, right? So gonna have to throw this Glacier. Gonna look to we'll guarantee the debuff. We will see if they will choose the shield. They actually will choose the shield. And do you shield this? Gonna let this go. And gonna get the farm down here. And we'll try to go one Dragon Breath and throw the claw here. And okay. And gonna be able to reach this, throw the second claw as well. This is an Ice Fang. Oh man, okay. Not able to reach the second claw here, but okay, and this game's over here. Gonna throw the Poison Fang for good measure here, but this is absolutely game over. Now these Dragon Tails are going to do a tremendous amount of damage, and there's not really too much the opponent can do at this point in time. I'm going to throw the Sky Attack. I probably would have went for the farm down. They actually do end up throwing the Wild Charge. And what does Avalog have for Solgaleo? They're actually going to choose the shield here, but that doesn't really do it too much. And going to try to reach the Sky Attack, but going to get Ice Fang down. And Solgaleo is going to go to town if it can even see the Avalog outside of all these Ice Fangs there. And going to pick up the win there. Very nicely played. Picking up a good 3-1 in round number 1. I'm going to just show these matches in alphabetical order. Not necessarily in the order that they played it, but off to a good start. So I'll see everyone in round number 2. All right, the second round opponent is D2 Borg, something like that. Anyways, they have Kyogre, Giratina Alter, Heatran, Togekiss. I won't say the name that they call it in POGORAIDS server. Virizion and Mega Altaria. I always find Mega Altaria pretty underwhelming. But Lugia looks pretty decent team. Obviously, I have to be careful of the Heatran. That's probably the most challenging Pokemon to deal with. But the Heatran has some things to worry about too. Rhyperior, Conkeldurr. There's certainly some Pokemon here that do make it pretty challenging to deal with. So let's go ahead and start this match here and see how this is going to go in the second round matchup. And yeah, we'll see. The question here is, do you run Smackdown or Mud Slap? I definitely see the merits for both. I definitely see merits for both. And I'm just going to speed this along here. Okay, we see Lugia into Giratina Alter. This is actually an okay matchup. Pretty good matchup for Lugia. As you can see, the Dragon Tails are doing quite a bit of damage. They will be able to throw the super effective Shadow Sneak, and we see Mega Altaria come in with all its underwhelming glory. But it's actually pretty decent in this matchup, right? So it takes neutral. Oh my goodness! And that was a tremendous amount of damage. Jesus. Okay. That actually did quite a bit of damage in return. Credit where credit's due, but and we see Togekiss coming into this matchup. Gonna go for the bait. This is a very tricky situation here. We do see that is a Mud Slap variant, and we actually do see the shield come through. Gonna be able to reach another Breaking Swipe here, which is pretty nice. But this is a pretty challenging situation here. I'm gonna come into Lugia. Oh man, really needs to switch here. Probably shield all these and then try to farm down. Maybe you just sack the Lugia beforehand or so. Gonna let this go. Gonna have to take another one anyways, but I think you attempt the farm down. Okay, good. Actually gonna throw the Dragon Claw here. I don't love this play, to be honest. Oh, they actually end up shielding. Interesting here. It's interesting. Able to farm down. Gonna do 2 Dragon Breaths and throw the Glaciate. And then probably look to switch to Lugia as soon as possible. And then really needs to reach the Sky Attack. This Ancient Power, there's no way this Ancient Power is going to KO. Unless they boost, this game's over. Oh, they actually go for the Flamethrower. Interesting. Not sure what the point of... Maybe they were running Flamethrower... Aurisphere? Aurisphere, is that how you pronounce it? Picking up a very nice game 1. Coming off the backs of a huge bait from the Rhyperior. And we will see how it's going to adapt for game number 2 in this set of 4. Going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit here. Going to look to potentially rock Rhyperior, Solgaleo, and Lugia. Oh, no. Going to throw in the Mega Ampharos here. Running probably the best team against Togekiss. And we're going to see whether or not it's going to encounter Togekiss. Picks up a gigantic lead here. And we see Giratina Altered come through. Interesting not switching. And that does quite a bit of damage. Going to throw the Dragon Pulse. I'm not sure what the point of staying here is, to be honest. And then going to come into Lugia, probably no shield, and look to farm all the way down. The Giratina looks like it will make it to at least a Claw after this. It will make the Claw. This is the Claw? Maybe it's the Shadow Sneak. It's Shadow Sneak. Just barely able to make it. And we will see what's going to come in. It's probably going to be the Kyogre. Kind of a tough situation here. Do you bait? I guess this is a good time to bait. Okay, nope, not going to bait. Going to go straight for the Aeroblast. We will see whether or not this Kyogre will shield. This does a tremendous amount of damage. And they will actually end up shielding. Going to be able to make it to the Sky Attack. This is a very, very tricky situation here. And this Kyogre has a lot of energy. Probably going to see a Surf bait, right? Yeah, it's a safe bait. And we're going to see the Mega Altaria come through. Going to farm up a ton of energy. Going to be resisting these Dragon Breaths. They throw the Moonblast. Does a pretty good amount of damage, to be honest. But even though it is resisted, going to reach a double Iron Head. We will see if this is going to be enough. Iron Head is a very underwhelming move. Is not enough. And probably going to look to throw the Psychic Fang at this Kyogre. This is still a very tricky situation. You want to throw these Psychic Fangs and get out as soon as possible. Actually, no, it's not a tricky situation. I didn't realize how low this Kyogre was. And going to look to switch and going to be able to take out this Kyogre with Solgaleo. Very nicely played. Nicely done. Making some very nice predictions there. And we're going to see Mega Ampharos into Togekiss. This is a pretty interesting matchup. Both of them dishing out tons of super effective damage. Going to try to throw a good timing here. Able to reach the Thunder Punch, which will be enough to take out the Togekiss. And then going to throw another one. Wasn't sure it was going to survive the Charm. And then going to go straight to Kyurem here. That's a interesting play. And we will see what the opponent's going to do. They actually do have Aurisphere. Oh my goodness, that is very bad here. Aurisphere and yes, Aurisphere and Flamethrower. This is probably going to be a Magnastorm. Oh, it's actually the Iron Head. Does super effective damage. Going to be able to reach the Dragon Claw here, which is going to do some resisted damage. Not very much. But honestly, you don't need a ton of damage here. Can you try to catch here? Gonna let this go. They're not quite in Sky Attack range, but they are debuffed here. They're gonna go with Magnastorm. And they do come into Togekiss. Gonna build up some energy. Throw the Sky Attack. Smart play by the opponent because they can reset the attack on the Heatran. Does still have a catch opportunity. Gonna let this go. Interesting. Magnastorm definitely adding up here. Gonna throw the Sky Attack at this Heatran. Should be enough at this point in time. Oh, it's actually not quite enough here. And we're gonna have to see some miracle here. It's actually gonna be a Kyogre. Is there a play here? Gonna be able to... I have to shield this. Throw the Aeroblast. Look to switch. Or I guess you can stay. Because they're gonna get another... Like, they're not gonna get to a Surf anyways. But gonna switch just to get the Volt Switch damage off. But I think they were gonna be okay regardless. So I think maybe slightly better to stay. Because they weren't gonna reach the Surf anyways. Looks like the Kyogre would have fainted after one more. And then one Volt Switch would have been enough there. So... nicely done. Picking it up. Is that the third win in a row versus that team? Versus this opponent? And we're going to see a potential Rhyperior team. Oh man, this team is very weak to Togekiss. But are we going to see it? We're going to see the Rhyperior versus Giratina. This is a good lead here. As you can see, these Smackdowns are doing quite a bit of damage. They will throw at good timing. Gonna let this go. They will throw the Dragon Claw. And gonna go for the Rock Wrecker here. This is an interesting play. Is this more energy efficient? I guess if they try to switch out, it's like, and I guess if they're gonna try to catch. Do we see Togekiss come in? No, we actually see the Heatran come in, and I guess this is why you want to bait it out, because it's obviously quite tough for Lugia to deal with the Heatran. Gonna throw the Glaciate, look to debuff as much as possible. And gonna throw the Dragon Claw. Just look to chip away. They do have Iron Head, which is gonna deal super effective damage to the Rhyperior. So I do imagine it's gonna go to 100 here, and then, or you just throw the Magnastorm here and take out this Kyurem. And they're gonna have to shield against this Iron Head. Or do you let this go? Gonna let it go. Oh my goodness. Does survive it. And we see Kyogre come through. Oh my goodness, that waterfall obliterated. Man, I don't see a way to win here. Unless pending some miracle here. There's just absolutely no way can win here. Okay, just gonna go for it. Just gonna go for it. I respect this play, but there's really no way you can win here. Yes, there's absolutely no way. Gonna go for the Sky Attack. Maybe straight Sky Attack could have a chance to win there. And they will throw the Surf. But honestly, this is going to be a little bit too much to deal with. Yes, this Kyogre is going to be able to farm all the way down. Gonna let this go. But still picking up a very nice 3-1 win in this second set. I will see everyone in the third set. All right, we are off to round number 3. Third round opponent is Blazingly Blaze, who has Xerneas, Reshiram, Genesect, Haxorus, Mamoswine, and Mega Alakazam. So Lugia looks decent here, right? Solgaleo also looks pretty decent into this team. So let's go ahead and get started with the battles and see how this is going to go. Two very talented battles. Everyone's very talented in this draft, so this is good. These are going to be some very exciting battles here. Okay, looks like they're taking a little bit of time here. All right, we're going to see Solgaleo into Mamoswine. This is a good lead here, and they come into Mega Alakazam. Gonna throw the Psychic Fang at this Mega Alakazam. Mega Alakazam is a Mega Glassy, and gonna go into Lugia. It probably has Shadow Ball. It makes sense as a coverage move. It will do quite a bit of damage. They actually Fire Punch bait. Wow, okay. I've actually never seen someone bait a Lugia before. One Shadow Ball certainly doesn't KO, so... Okay, gonna double shield here. What the heck? I've actually never seen someone use 2 shields on Lugia before. Whoa, okay. That's interesting. Gonna go for the Arrow Blast here. This will do a tremendous amount of damage. And we will see if they... Oh my goodness! They actually no shield. And gets the boost. Able to farm down. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely terrible for this Haxorus. That is... Oh my goodness. That is absolutely terrible. Wow. Okay. Well, those 2 shields really paid off there. Yeah. That was... oh my goodness. And as you can tell by the name... worried about Mega Alakazam. Looks pretty decent to this team, right? So, I'm assuming this Ampharos has Brutal Swing, but maybe it doesn't need Brutal Swing for the Mega Alakazam. But that was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. that was nuts. That was wow. That was very not expected. The bait was reasonable there, right? So I think it was a reasonable call. Oh my goodness. And picks up another, and they come into Alakazam. Actually, no. Okay, gonna throw the Thunder Punch. No Brutal Swing on this Mega Ampharos, and we're gonna see the battle of the Megas. Gonna shield this. I'm assuming they're gonna Fire Punch here, right? They actually go for the Shadow Ball, and gonna throw the Thunder Punch. Timing doesn't really matter as much for the... Okay, and we're going to see this. This is going to be a pretty nice farm down for this Ampharos, right? So they actually decide to throw here. Interesting. That was not expected. And going to throw the Iron Head at this Mamoswine. We will see if it's going to choose to shield or not. It chooses not to shield. And this Haxorus is going to have unfortunate time here. This is very bad for this Haxorus. Extremely bad for this Haxorus. And just going to go straight to Lugia. It's probably not even going to throw a charge move. And this Haxorus has been chopped down. That was pretty rough there. Was pretty rough. Honestly thought the farm down was going to happen. I'm sure the Dragon Pulse would have did some damage there, but it wouldn't... Dragon Pulse is a pretty weak move, so curious how this is going to play. Okay, not predicting that there's going to be no... I guess Mamoswine is not the worst because it's neutral, because the ice typing. So one good resistance for ice, which is ice itself. All right, we're going to see into Reshiram. Okay, interesting neutral matchup here. And they actually decide to come into Xerneas here. That is quite bad for the opponent. Probably going to look to let the opponent throw first. And then look to throw the Iron Head at this Xerneas. We will see if they're going to choose a shield. I don't think so. They actually do choose a shield. Interesting. It's going to be a CMP tie. This doesn't quite KO though. So we're going to maybe look to CMP tie. Okay, no. We're going to throw the Iron Head at this Xerneas. There's no way it's going to shield, right? Yeah, there's no way. It doesn't make any sense to shield. But does resist the Dragon Breath here. So the Psychic Fangs and the Fire Spins are double resisted by the Reshiram. But going to switch out. Has 2 answers here. Going to let this go. I'm assuming it's going to be a Fusion Bolt. Not Fusion Bolt. Fusion Flare. But we see Genesect come through. And we're going to see the Glaciate going to debuff. And we're going to throw another Dragon Claw, or throw the Dragon Claw, which is going to be resisted. The Genesect will definitely survive. But this Genesect will have to throw. We'll see what moveset it has. It's going to throw the X-Scissor, which is not going to take it out. And then you're just going to let this go. And we are going to see the X-Scissor not KO. And probably going to look to debuff this Reshiram. And this game is way over here. This Lugia is just going to, again, farm down another dragon here. Oh my goodness. Lugia is just straight up farming down all these dragon types to end the game there. And now 3-0 in this set. This is looking pretty dominant. Can Blazingly Blaze pull out one win, or is this going to be a 4-0 sweep for GCB? We will find out in a moment. I'm not sure here. Will we see the Mega Alakazam? Will we see the Mamoswine? All 6 Pokemon have been used. Actually, Blazingly Blaze uses the 3 other Pokemon not used in the first 2 games, game number 3, but the fortunes were the exact same. We will see if GCB is going to go for the first sweep in this tournament run, or whether or not this will be another 3-0, which is, I guess, like not the most unfortunate thing to happen here. And we're going to see Lugia into Mega Alakazam. This Mega Alakazam, oh, they actually switch out into, oh my goodness, this is quite bad for the opponent. And gonna let this go. And they do throw the close combat. Gonna throw on CMP to this close combat, which doesn't KO. So might let it go, to be honest. I'd probably let it go because it doesn't KO. And then you're going to be able to reach another move anyways. And then you just let this go here, right? If they double shield, right? Okay. They are going to attempt to do some damage here. Do you try to catch with the... Okay, they come back in with Mega Alakazam. Gonna throw the Sky Attack at this Mega Alakazam. It's pretty glassy, but should survive this this move pretty easily. Gonna let this go. We'll see if they throw the Shadow Ball or if they throw the Fire Punch. They will throw the Shadow Ball. Does a pretty good amount of damage. But they do not reach another move here. We're gonna see what's in the back. Is it gonna be Mamoswine? Is it gonna be Genesect? Is it gonna be? It's gonna be the Mamoswine. Gonna try to make it to the Aeroblast. Honestly, you just shield, you get this Aeroblast off, right? It's guaranteed damage, right? It's guaranteed a tremendous amount of damage. Then you go into Solgaleo here. Nope, gonna go straight. Yeah, gonna go straight into Solgaleo. Gonna throw this Psychic Fang. Gonna debuff. And then gonna be able to easily Dragon Breath down. Doesn't matter what they're gonna throw here. Moonblast, close combat, does not matter. Well, I was going to say easily survived, but did survive that move there. Lugia also would have been able to Dragon Tail down, but very nicely played. A very dominant 4-0 sweep by GCB, and I'll see everyone in round number 4. All right, we are into round number 4. The 4th trainer on GCB's hit list is Skeptical Tracer, a very talented battler. Rocking Mewtwo, Yveltal, Melmetal, Swampert, Buzzwole, and Mega Sceptile. So this is the battle of the dragon types. In theory, the Grass Dragon has the superior typing, but it's going to have a pretty tough time against this team, especially with Solgaleo, Lugia, and a few other picks. So let's go ahead and get started here and see how this is going to play out. Oh, I forgot Mega Sceptile gets Breaking Swipe. Is that new this season? Anyways, let's see. Gonna lead Kyurem into this team. There's no Fairy type versus this team, so we're gonna see how this is gonna play out. We're gonna see Kyurem into Yveltal. This is a good matchup for Kyurem. Does have to be careful of the Focus Blast. They do come into Mewtwo, and they will throw the Psystrike. Gonna have to... Okay, gonna stay in this matchup. Very interesting. Maybe potentially catch a move onto the Solgaleo. Okay, gonna let this go and look to farm all the way down. Does have Mega Ampharos for gonna be able to farm down for the Yveltal, so doesn't necessarily need to... do anything fancy in this situation here, because predicted the Buzzwole in the back, throwing a good timing. Gonna throw the Glaciate, and it does a pretty decent amount of damage. Oh, maybe if threw the Glaciate a little bit sooner, probably could have got to that move, but gonna let this go. I'm assuming this is gonna be a superpower. It actually throws the Lunge here. Okay, gonna switch out into Mega Ampharos here. This is looking pretty good. Will throw the Thunder Punch. at this Yveltal. And as you can see, this Mega Ampharos is not taking a lot of damage. Gonna shield. And they do see the Dark Pulse come through. And this is going to be another Dark Pulse. Going to probably throw 2 Volt Switches, then throw the move here. Yes, will. And then they can shield and make it to the Dark Pulse, but we'll have to take the Volt Switch damage. And then it's going to be an easy farm down here. And I don't think there's too much the opponent can do at this stage here. Gonna throw the Psychic Fang at this Buzzwole. Probably will just barely survive since Psychic Fang is not a very strong move. Oh, actually, nope, will not survive and gonna be able to easily get farmed down. Very nicely played, staying in that matchup, just controlling the switch, realizing that Mega Ampharos has a very dominant matchup. And we're gonna see. It says Mewtwo enters the chat. I didn't realize that there was like a little text thing. I saw in the last one there, but curious if there was in the previous first 3 sets as well. So we're going to see what Skeptical Tracer is going to do. We're going to see Lugia into Mewtwo. This is a good lead, but going to switch out right away into Kyurem. Curious what's trying to bait out here. Maybe the... I'm curious here what they're trying to bait out here. Okay, the Melmetal, that makes sense too. But Melmetal's kind of tough here. So gonna throw the Glaciate. Probably actually didn't need to throw with the Mewtwo. Gonna let this go. We're gonna see what moveset it has. It does have the Rock Slide, does deal super effective damage. And this Melmetal is debuffed. So gonna throw the Thunder Punch here. And we will see what's going to happen here. You can let this go. You're going to farm it straight up, farm it down. They actually superpower here. Interesting. Interesting. Curious why the superpower there. And we see Buzzwole coming through here. Going to throw the Thunder Punch at this Buzzwole. We'll see what the opponent is going to do. They really want to debuff this Lugia. Okay, gonna let this go. And they're gonna look to debuff this Lugia to slow it down. Gonna let this go. And then we're gonna see, I assume the Mewtwo's gonna come back in. Oh, actually gonna try to force this. Okay, interesting. Gonna get debuffed again. This is kind of a tricky situation here. This Mewtwo took a lot of damage though from the Dragon Breath. Not a lot of damage, actually. Not that much. This is a tricky situation here. Very tricky. Gonna throw the Sky Attack. Calls the bait. Man. Okay, how do you play this? I think you have to call the bait here, right? This is like the only reasonable play. Will just go straight Shadow Ball. Like this Mewtwo should easily win this game here, right? There's just absolutely no way this Lugia is going to be able to outpace, right? Yeah, I think that's the only appropriate play there. Very nicely played by the opponent. And we're going 1-1. Is GCB at risk of conceding 2 games in this set? We will see how this is going to play out. Maybe farm down the Melmetal would have been better there. Like the Melmetal was debuffed, so I don't think there was any particular risk there, right? And if it had a bunch of energy, probably could have took a shield from the Buzzwole or potentially taking it out, right? So there was, also superpower was a little bit confusing in that matchup. So it was kind of a confusing previous battle. I think both of them could have played it slightly better. Certainly GCB not farming down was probably the biggest mistake, but Skeptical Tracer is still able to pull it out. And was trying to save, and also I don't think throwing the Psy Strike at Kyurem was necessary either. So we're seeing a little bit of timing here. Oof. Okay, this is, if you pull this off here, this will be something short of a miracle. This is a very tricky situation here. Gonna throw the Glaciate. Gonna look to debuff and slow down this Melmetal. But barring some miracle here, this is going to be a very tricky situation. I do see the rock slide. Gonna throw another Glaciate. This is gonna force the Melmetal to have to throw 2 charge moves, which is not that big a deal. This won't KO, but this Melmetal is also gonna have to throw before another Glaciate comes through. And I'm gonna let this go. Probably look to farm all the way down, then Dragon Pulse the Swampert, and then look to bail. They actually throws the, I guess that reduces the farm, so gonna throw another superpower here. But if this Melmetal can survive another Volt Switch here, actually did not matter too much here. Gonna look to throw the Dragon Pulse and then look to switch. This Dragon Pulse will do a decent amount of damage, but certainly won't KO. And gonna switch. And we're gonna see Yveltal. But Lugia can win this matchup here. But I'm not sure with... you're gonna let this go. I'm not sure with the nerf to Lugia if this is going to be possible. Oh my gosh, they actually shield this time. That is very brutal here. That is... Okay, actually going to go for the farm down here. I like this play here. I like this play. But this is still so tricky here. Gonna let this go, but they're going to get much shot down, right, from this Swampert. Gonna have to shield. Swampert gonna come in. Gonna throw the Dragon Pulse here. The question here is there's no way this Ampharos is gonna make it to another Dragon Pulse. Will a Thunder Punch be enough? Oh, actually looks like it's gonna be enough here. It looks like it has the Thunder Punch here. I don't know the counts here. Has the Thunder Punch. Oh my goodness, no way. No way. This should be enough here, even though it's single resisted. And going to be able to farm down this Yveltal. Very nicely played. I thought this was going to be GCB going into the 4th game down a game. But at least has tied, like at least at worst case scenario, is going to tie up this, going to leave the set tied. But potentially could go another 3-1. That was a beautifully played endgame there. Masterful endgame. Oh, that was not what I was expecting the endgame to be like. I thought that matchup was over. But we're going to see ABA weak to Swampert, predicting no Swampert in this 4th game, or at least no Swampert in the lead or in the back. Okay, or potentially going to bring out Conkeldurr here. What do we do here? Are we going to try to predict the Melmetal? Tricky situation here, but okay. All right, it has a couple different options here in terms of Conkeldurrs. Tiny Timb, I don't know what that means, or I don't know what the other name is. I'm very out of touch here. Or gonna potentially lead Lugia. Okay, all right. Let's see. Can Conkeldurr pull this off? It's certainly possible. Certainly possible, right? So. Conkeldurr looked pretty decent against the last team. And does have Brutal Swing for Mewtwo. If that's going to be the case. Oh, going to pick up a huge lead here. And we're going to see Mewtwo come through. These Side Strikes are going to do quite a bit of damage, though. Needs to Control Switch here. Because Buzzwole absolutely crushes Conkeldurr. And so it's probably worth it to go down a shield here. Oh, CMP tied. That is terrible here, especially. Oh my goodness, probably gonna. Okay, I was gonna say no bubble this, but that's fine too. They actually choose to shield here, and they will reach another move. You have to shield here. You have no choice here. And is it gonna be? Gonna go for the Dragon Pulse here. This does quite a bit more damage than the Thunder Punch. Still not a very strong move, but does quite a bit here. And we're gonna see Conkeldurr in the... Okay, we're gonna see here. I'm assuming you're gonna throw the superpower here. I don't know. You're gonna throw the rock slide. Okay, gonna look to gonna throw the dynamic punch. And this is gonna be lights out for this Melmetal. Making a beautiful prediction here. Superpower will not do enough to take it out. And plus that counter is going to do quite a bit of damage. That already came through. And the opponent does throw here, but now this Lugia is going to get a free farm down of this Melmetal. Even if it reaches the Rock Slide, does not matter. And we're going to see a Sky Attack take out this Buzzwole. Absolutely gorgeous prediction there. And after it looked like a pretty scary set there, is able to pull off another 3-1. Very nicely played. And we're going to go ahead to round number 5. And we're going to see in round number 5, going to face off against Crispy Chris 27, who has Ho-Oh, the buffed Ho-Oh, Palkia. Actually, is this... I'm actually not sure this is before... This actually might be before the updates here. Actually, yeah, that might be the case here. But anyways, we're going to see Ho-Oh. That actually probably makes more sense. That's before the updates because I think these matches do take a while. But anyways, we're going to see Ho-Oh, Palkia, Abomasnow, Terrakion, Mew, and Garchomp. And let's go ahead and get started with the battles here. I'm going to choose to bring in Mega Ampharos here. Does have to be careful of the Garchomp. Garchomp would be a pretty tough Pokemon to deal with, though the Dragon Pulse would do super effective damage. The double resist on the Volt Switches are a lot to deal with here. So, okay. Oh, we're gonna see. Obviously, we saw Mega Ampharos into Terrakion. We're gonna see. Oh, actually, into Mew here. And we're going to see, okay, this is interesting. Terrakion is a tricky Pokemon for this team to deal with, since it does have excellent coverage. Going to go into Lugia. Going to shield this Rock Slide. It's going to need multiple Rock Slides here, so I'm curious why the shield right away. It's probably going to need 3 Rock Slides here, to be honest, to KO. And gonna throw the Sky Attack. I don't think this is gonna be enough. This is only neutral. Terrakion has okay bulk here. They're gonna be able to reach a Rock Slide. Gonna let this go, I presume. We're gonna see what moveset this Mew has. If it has Shadow Claw, Volt Switch, guess it's gonna number. It has Shadow Claw here, which is likely gonna prevent this Lugia. Nope, Lugia always gonna be able to make the move here. This is only gonna do like 35% to the Mew. Yeah, not a ton of damage, but this Mew does have some energy now, so we're gonna see what moveset it's gonna throw here. Is it gonna throw Dragon Claw? Is it gonna throw Rock Slide? Okay, gonna throw the Thunder Punch. I don't know if this is enough here. Mew has some decent bulk to it, and we're gonna see Palkia in the back. This Palkia is gonna throw the Aqua Tail. Wants the damage for the Glaciate. Are we going to see the Glaciate? We are going to see the Glaciate. Are we going to see a no shield? Okay, we're actually going to see a shield, and this Palkia is going to do everything in its power to try to farm down here. Okay, going to shield in case it gets to. Okay, going to Dragon Pulse here, probably for good measure. And gonna look to take out this Mew. Nicely played. Very close game. And that is enough to take out the Palkia. Nicely done. And game 1 in this round number 5. We're almost halfway through. Yeah. This battle here will be halfway through. And these battles are only getting more exciting as we progress here. And we're going to see Kyurem into Terrakion, a very terrible lead. They're going to go straight to Lugia. Again, Lugia, not the best matchup, not the worst either, right? Since it does double resist the double kicks. And double kicks don't really do that much damage. But these Rock Slides are going to deal super effective damage. The Dragon Tails are neutral, so are the Sky Attacks in Aeroblast. Are we going to see the Aeroblast? Are we going to see the Sky Attack? Going to go for the Sky Attack. We know this doesn't KO. They actually will end up shielding. This doesn't KO. Both moves don't KO here, so you probably don't need to shield here. And could switch to Mega Ampharos here, but it's a dangerous switch here. And they're actually gonna not Simul KO. Gonna be able to control switch here, which is pretty big. And we see Garchomp, Dragon Tail Garchomp here. Tricky situation here because it's also gonna debuff here with Sand Tomb. This is a Sand Tomb. You could Glaciate here to drop the attack. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. That is terrible here. This is going to be a Sand Tomb. Oh my goodness. This Garchomp is just going to eat this Mega Ampharos alive. And the Mega Ampharos just standing there. The wind blowing its hair. But it's not going to be enough there. That was the Sand Tomb damage just added up to too much there. Lugia looked like it was going to be poised to be pretty strong against the backline. We actually don't know what the third Pokemon is, which does make it more challenging here. So we're going to see how this is going to play out. Are we going to see the Terrakion lead again? Going to force a switch out? Or will we see something else here? Let's go ahead and speed this up here. We're going to see Kyurem into Mega Abomasnow. Okay. Pretty neutral matchup. They actually come into Terrakion. Unfortunately, this Terrakion is going to get punished by Conkeldurr. They can still throw neutral Sacred Swords. They're running ABA weak to Conkeldurr. And you're going to throw the Dynamic Punch. I like this play here. I like this play. Do you double? You'll have to double shield if you want to control the switch here. Doesn't choose not to control the switch. It's a curious play here. I guess you farm down this. Okay, they probably reach another Rock Slide though, right? No, they will not. They come into Mega Abomasnow. Gonna go for the Aeroblast. Will do a tremendous amount of damage to this Abomasnow. Assuming that we're gonna see a switch after this. Oh my goodness. Okay, not gonna see the switch. And this is a very rough situation for the opponent. Not really too much they can do at this stage here. These Dragon Tails are just doing too much damage. And the opponent choosing not to shield. They probably won't even throw a move. Oh, they actually will throw a move here. Doesn't really matter here. Sand Tomb, Outrage. None of it will KO. And going to be able to farm, fast move down here. And we're going to pick up a very nice 2-1 lead. Are we going to see another 3-1 by GCB? I don't know. Making a very nice prediction here. Going to predict it's going to lead to Terrakion here. This is interesting here. This is going to be interesting. Are we going to see... Okay, nope. Okay. Palkia here. Kind of tough here. I'm not going to lie. We're going to see here. Are we going to see a potential catch here? Okay. Going to let this go. And Aqua Tail. And going to throw the Dynamic Punch. This will do a tremendous amount of damage. We'll see how it actually wins the Zero Shield. Actually going to... Okay. They're going to come into Mew. It does have access to Shadow Claw here. Going to let this go. We're going to see what moveset they have. They have Rock Slide. Makes sense. We think we saw that previously already. And going to shield. Are we going to see the Aeroblast? Or are we going to see the bait? Going to go for the Aeroblast. The Sky Attack definitely would not have been enough. And we're going to see what the opponent is going to do. They actually choose to no shield. Palkia is still in the game. And they come into Terrakion. Gonna be able to reach the Sky Attack here, which is very nice. Oh, someone's trying to call me. Okay, let me just... Okay. All right. Tricky situation here. Makes the beautiful catch here. This is probably the Rock Slide. It is the Rock Slide. It is actually still enough to take out... Gonna come into... Oh, man. This is interesting here. They do throw the Sacred Sword. And gonna try to throw the Dragon Claw. But this Palkia still has energy, right? So this is... But no way the Sacred Sword KOs. It'll do quite a bit of damage. But do you come in Palkia here? they will try and come Palkia here. We're going to see whether or not this Aqua Tail is going to be enough. I don't think so, but might get Dragon Breath down. Oh, man. Okay, is this going to be a tie here? Or there's no... Or just this... Oh my gosh, it is going to be a tie. What a set here. Picking up 2.5 points. I don't know if they do half points here. 2.5 points. Very nicely done. And I'll see everyone in round number 6. All right, we are in round number 6. Going against a very talented trainer in Tomahawk UK, a world's qualifier in the play Pokemon scene. We're going to see whether or not his skills in the Great League will translate to the Master League. The answer is yes. But rocking a team of Dialga, Mega Blaziken, Gyarados, Zarude, Nihilego, and Tapu Fini. So Lugia has a lot more to worry about in this particular matchup here. So we're going to go ahead and get started and see how this is going to play out. Curious how the team comp is going to be here. Kinkeldor actually looks pretty good against this team, right? The Tapu Fini is probably the hardest check for it. The Gyarados is also a little bit tricky, but with Stone Edge, certainly playable. So situationally, does make a lot of sense here. And we're going to see Mega Ampharos into Mega Blaziken. And we're going to see how these two are going to duke it out here. We're going to see Conkeldurr come in. Probably going to look to one shield, farm down this Dialga here. This actually looks like it can be a tricky farm down here, to be honest. I actually don't know if the farm down is going to be possible here. Going to probably have to double shield. Oh, no, able to. And we're going to see what's going to come in. Is it going to be the Blaziken? It's actually going to be Gyarados here. So going to throw the Stone Edge. Very good patience here. And going to be able to reach the Dynamic Punch. I'm going to take it out. And going to look to come to Solgaleo here. These are Fire Spins here. Probably going to let this go. Look to debuff this Mega Blaziken. And no counter on the Blaziken. Very interesting. And we're going to see the Psychic Fan come through. Probably no shield here. Going to wait the clock out, I'm assuming. Okay, not going to wait the clock out. Is there any move that... Stone Edge, I guess? Okay, it is rocking a Legacy. Whoa, okay, all right. Stone Edge, okay. I was not expecting that, but doesn't really matter here. I think this game's over anyways, right? So... But very nice pick. I'm not sure if I would reveal the Stone Edge there, because I don't think it would have KO'd anyways. And nicely done there. Very nicely played. Okay, I was expecting the counter variant of Mega Blaziken there. So, okay, gonna rock 2 Mega Blaziken answers in the back in the form of Ampharos and Lugia, and we're going to see whether or not that strategy is going to work or not against Tomahawk UK. Is this, or will GCB pick up another positive set? Oh, also against Chris, it was actually a 2-2 set, right? So, because actually they determined that the lag was okay. This is an interesting matchup here, and they come into Mega Blaziken. Not gonna choose to throw on CP. This is almost for sure the Stone Edge does quite a bit of damage. We will see whether or not they will want to control switch here or not. They do end up shielding. Can this Lugia make it to the move? Okay. Gonna let this go. And then gonna look to farm down with Mega Ampharos, I'm assuming. And gonna be able to... Gonna shield here. Is this it is enough here for the, okay, gonna throw the focus blast. Whoa, okay, this is okay, and then we're gonna see the switch out. Probably gonna throw the flamethrower at this Dialga. It makes sense, right? Because they're just gonna switch out if they get Psychic Fanged. And it really doesn't matter too much here. Gonna shield this. Everything from oh, they're actually rocking Thunder here. Everything from Neolago is resisted, right? Like Sludge Bomb, Rock Slide. I don't know what its other moves are. It does resist the Fire Spins, but let's see what moves they're gonna throw here. They will throw the Rock Slide. Doesn't do that much damage. Gonna throw the Psychic Fang, and then I'm assuming gonna switch out here. Okay, and then this looking pretty good here. They will throw the Sludge Bomb. Does do a pretty decent amount of damage. Needs to get... There's no way they're going to get to this move here. Needs to get to the Flamethrower, though, actually, though. And going to be able to reach the Flamethrower and take out Dialga. Nicely played. Nice read. Nice read there. And we're going to see up 2-0 in this set. Making all the right calls here. They were ABA week 2. Oh my goodness, this is very bad here. Unless running SmackDown. Now I'm going to switch out into King Keldor. And we're going to see how this is going to play out. Can survive this Aqua Tail, so I wouldn't shield here. But does have to be careful of the potential catch. And okay, they actually do come into Neolago. These Dynamic Punch is only neutral. And Neolago is actually pretty tanky here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it could tank 2 of them. And we'll throw another Dynamic Punch. And ooh, okay. Gonna shield here. Gonna look to control switch. And the question is here, what's in the back? Is it gonna be a Dialga in the back? Or are they gonna come back in Gyarados here? Okay, now you go immediately into Ampharos here and look to farm it all the way down. Don't shield here. This is probably gonna be the crunch. And they come into Dialga here. This is looking really good for this Ripe here. Gonna throw the Breaking Swipe at this Dialga. This must be the... It's only 4 Mud Slaps, right? Or am I... this is the second... Okay, I'm actually not quite sure here. And he's gonna throw a Breaking Swipe at this Dialga, and this game is definitely over here. You don't necessarily need to. Okay, you can't shield it, but this is game over. You're gonna be able to farm down this, and they're gonna throw the Thunder Punch, and it has back-to-back Thunder Punches. One for the Gyarados, and one for the Dialga. And this, even though the Thunder Punch is resisted, GCB gonna go up 3-0 in this set. Very nicely played. And we're gonna see whether or not GCB is gonna go for the sweep or going to only pick up a 3-1. And we will see. GCB is locked in on this final set here. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit here. We're going to see Zarude. Oof! Zarude. This is actually quite bad here. And they actually come into Mega Ampharos here. And going to just go for the focus. Oh, going to go for the Thunder Punch here. Going to go for the bait. I don't think it's going to be able to make it. Can it? Oh, man. That's very unfortunate here. They're ABA weak. Will survive in Iron Head. I think you let this go here. We'll do quite a bit of damage. And yeah, this is definitely last season here. You let this go. Gonna look to... yeah, this is definitely last season because I took 5 Mud Slaps there. Gonna look to counter all the way down. They will come into Neolago here. This is not... This is almost certainly over, right? This Poison Jab damage is just going to do too much damage. And as well, this Neolago is going to be able to outpace here. well, not necessarily outpace. You can just throw rock slides at it. It has to shield, right? They have to shield, right? There's no other choice, right? Nope. And there's no point in throwing anything else but these rock slides here. And gonna shield. And there's, yeah, they throw the sludge bomb here. Makes sense. This dynamic punch does not KO. We'll get like probably like 2 more poison jabs in. Yeah, 2 more poison jabs, and this Zarude is gonna be able. There's unless they come Dialga here. This is yeah, this is game over here, right? Oh my gosh, making a nasty catch there. The Zarude wins CMP tie anyways, right? Doesn't it? Oh, actually no. Plus they had to. If they didn't throw, then they would get Dragon Breath down. So, very nasty catch there. There's no way you would be able to counter down the Dialga anyways, and they throw the Dark Pulse out of disrespect there, but still able to pick up a 3-1. We will see everyone in the next round. All right, we are in round number 7. The opponent has Mega Aggron, Dragonite, Landorus Incarnate, Golden Go. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, something like that. Anyways, I've always had trouble pronouncing that name. Latios and Ursaluna. We're gonna see how this is gonna play out. Sniper Ball does take quite a while to lock in, so we're just gonna fast forward here. Okay, all right. Okay, oh, okay. And we're gonna see here. Hopefully the lock in will happen any second now. Looks like it was Rhyperior versus Golden Go. Holding Go? I don't know. Somewhere, anyways. Come on, Sniper Ball. I should have cut down on this particular match. We're gonna see Rhyperior into Golden Go. I'm just gonna call that. And we will see that is the SmackDown variant. It is not the Mud Slap variation. So the opponent making a good prediction there. Will we see a Focus Blast here? This was a guaranteed debuff. They do throw the Focus Blast. And we're going to see another Breaking Swipe here. No shield here. And they will come into Landorus Incarnate. Gonna go into Lugia. The attack did fall. So they're gonna need 3 Rock Slides, which they might be able to reach. Oh, and they're gonna need 4 Rock Slides here. There's no way they reach 4 Rock Slides before the Lugia makes it to a move, right? But you're just gonna farm down? Or do you have to throw? They will reach another move here. The question is, will they reach another Rock Slide? They will not. Gonna throw the Aero Blast. This definitely will be enough to take it out. The question is, will they shield? They will end up shielding here. Okay, and then you come into Rhyperior here. Gonna let this go. We're going to see what's in the back. They actually do throw the Shadow Ball. Oh, that is not great here. They will reach another Shadow Ball. And they come into Dragonite. But this is an interesting situation here, right? Because these Psychic Fangs, well, the Fire Spins are resisted here. But they will have to throw double Superpower, which they probably can reach here. Oh, they actually choose not to shield there. Interesting. Oh, man. You can also switch here. Okay. I think you have to switch here, right? Oh, they actually Draco here. And they reset their debuff. Very nice play. But unfortunately for the opponent, this Solgaleo actually stays in and takes out. They predicted the switch there. They actually have Draco Meteor here. No superpower. Interesting. Okay, again, Sniper Ball takes a while here, so I'm just going to Try to... oh, nope. Okay. Not that long. Apparently. Unpredictable amount of time. Okay, we're going to see Solgaleo into Landorus. Not a great lead here. This thing is quite good against the entire team. And going to shield. They do throw the Earth Power. Going to throw the Psychic Fang. The Flamethrower wouldn't KO, so I'm curious if this bait will work. Unfortunately, will not. Going to throw another Psychic Fang. Are we going to see a shield here? I guess so, right? And probably going to do... can you... can do... okay. Oh my gosh, very nice play. But we will see this Golden Go here. This thing is quite glassy here, so I'm curious if it will shield the potential Aeroblast. I'm assuming you go Aeroblast here. Yeah, we'll throw the Aeroblast. It's still very tricky here. The Aeroblast will do a lot of damage. This Golden Go is quite glassy here. There's no way they can farm down. They're going to have to throw. They will throw on CMP. One Fire Spin is probably not enough to take it out. So we're going to see... okay, they will come into Latios. Very nice catch by them. But this Smackdown actually helps out in this matchup here. I guess they will throw the Luster Purge. And the attack unfortunately drops. But will it be enough anyways? But this Latios can't really do anything to... that does quite a bit of damage. And then just going to throw the Psychic Fang at this Golden Goat. But maybe it's better to land the Fire Spin, to be honest. Oh, but that was enough to take it out. So I'm curious whether it's Psychic Fang or Fire Spin does more damage. Like pre-buff, right? Because this is from last season. Let's go ahead. Oh, they actually locked in quite quickly here. We're going to see Landorus into Solgaleo. So, oh my gosh. This is too long of a video here. It actually will come into Mega Aggron here. And they do get the debuff here. These Dragon Tails are adding up. Solgaleo. Okay. All right. We're going to see if they're going to throw here. At any point in time, it looks like they're content to going for the full farm down. I think because they know that this thing doesn't have anything for Solgaleo though, right? Oh, got denied there. That sucks. Though it has... okay, that Thunder did just disappointing amount of damage. They will land the Rock Slide. Man, they're going to get quite a few Rock Slides. Are you going to have to shield on these? Okay. Can Solgaleo win in the back here? He'll survive this. Gonna throw the Sky Attack. Well, curious if they shield here. Okay, but this is only quick attack here. Gonna throw the Psychic Fang. Okay, gonna throw another Psychic Fang at them. They actually will choose no shield. Can you just fast move down now? I'm curious what the... oh, well, I guess they can just switch here, right? They throw the Ice Punch. And then... okay, curious not... I guess that makes sense not to give them a free move. Okay, give them a free move here. That's kind of furious player. Because they still have a shield here, right? And you just shield there. So this Fire Spin is going to KO anyway. So even if they bait here, I don't think it matters here. Very nicely done. Solgaleo with these debuffs. Monstrous plays there. Monstrous plays. Very nicely done. Is that 3-0? I think it is so far. Okay, all right. Okay, oh. Okay, we're going to see Kyriam into Dragonite. I'm curious how this matchup plays out. Looks like they have pretty similar stats here. The question here is, do you throw... Okay, you're going to throw the Glaciate. But I think this Dragonite will still make it to the move there, right? They will end up shielding. They will catch on... Okay, that's okay though. Because it's going to go into Solgaleo. And shield this. Shadow Ball, right? Maybe one in Psychic Fang, then farm down. We're going to do... Okay, interesting. Or maybe 3, and then... Okay, interesting. Dragonite can't make it to superpower. It also doesn't have superpower. It's Draco Meteor, right? So I'm gonna throw the Psychic Fang at this Landorus. And I'm gonna land another one here. Interesting. These Fire Spins are adding up quite a bit of damage. And this should be an Earth Power. I'm going to go into Kinkelter, I assume. Does have to be careful of the Dragonite throwing here. Oh, very nice play. But will it be able to... Oh my gosh, very nice play. The Dragonite did have a move. It chose not to throw there. Interesting situation there. But nicely played on both sides there, but GCB picking up a very nice 4-0. So I'll see everyone in the next round. We are in now round number 8, going against El Semi, another talented battler. I seem to say that every single one because this is full of talented battlers. They have Groudon, Meloetta, Florges, Mega Charizard X, Zapdos, and Goodra. Let's go ahead and get started. See how this goes. These have been a lot of battles, I'm not gonna lie. This video is gonna be very long here. I think the recording is over. It's gonna be about just over like an hour and a half. So this is gonna be quite a lengthy video. We have Kyriam into Meloetta. It does have access to Dazzling Gleam, so Dazzling Gleam. So I'm curious how this will get played out. Gonna shield. Gonna get baited. Gonna let this go. I don't think it will KO. Actually, they will throw the Psyshock here. I guess that makes sense because it's gonna be quite a bit of energy. Oh, actually, okay. Oh my gosh, that is terrible there. I can actually tell what. Oh, oh man, winning switch there was everything there. Oh my goodness, that is very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. It looks like this is there's absolutely no way you can win this game, right? Like unless they like no shield this, it seems incredibly unlikely. Yeah, this is game over here. They'll probably just maybe they'll throw actually we'll throw another Moonblast here. Yeah, this is game over here. Not really too much play. Probably gonna let this go. And they'll probably just come in Groudon, press this blade yeah, I wouldn't throw the Breaking Swipe because I don't want to reveal any moves here. And then you just let this go. Let them take you out. And the Precious Blade does a tremendous amount of damage there. Oh man. Okay, slight misplay there. Which switch would have almost ensured the game was over there. Still would have been pretty tough. The floor just was pretty strong against the team, but definitely the Groudon basically would have been aligned to the Lugia, which would have made it pretty challenging to deal with. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward a little bit here. Oh, okay. Fast forward too much here. Okay, we're gonna see a repeat of game number 1, and we're gonna see if this is gonna play out any differently. Gonna throw the Glaciate at the Meloetta. No shield again. Gonna let this go. They will throw the Side Shock. Looks like they lag there. Gonna shield. Wants to ensure the switch. Needs to throw beforehand. Can control the switch no matter what. But will this Meloetta try to control switch back? Gonna shield. Really wants a control switch here. We'll get the farm down. And then here comes Florges. Gonna throw the Glaciate. This Florges is gonna be able to farm down. But these Fairwinds are not doing a lot. Can potentially make it to another Glaciate. The opponent decides to throw here. But this is looking pretty good here, especially if it's a Groudon on the back. If it's a Zapdos, then obviously that's going to be pretty bad here. But this Lugia is going to be able to dominate this Groudon. And this Florges doesn't have that much energy, so it's not like he can really do that much in this situation here. Gonna throw the Sky Attack. Threw it bad timing there. Probably could did one more Dragon Tail, then threw the move. The opponent chooses not to shield. Just wanted to make sure to get off damage on this Groudon, but I don't think it matters too much here. And then probably look to switch here, to be honest. Okay, gonna throw this Sky Attack here. I probably would just Aero Blasted, but it doesn't really matter here. And this game's over here. Not really too much the opponent can do at this stage. They both throw the Moonblast, but this is perfectly fine here. Gonna throw the Breaking Swipe at them for some reason here. Obviously double resisted, but gonna be able to survive this move, then farm down, then Breaking Swipe the Groudon. Yeah, gonna Breaking Swipe the Groudon. I guess doesn't want to reveal Rock Wrecker. That's interesting. That's an interesting call there, because I guess it was gonna be a win no matter what. So, not revealing Rock Wrecker means that, like potentially for the Zapdos or in the Mega Charizard X, could be a consideration there. So, okay, gonna rock Lugia, Rhyperior, and Solgaleo. We're gonna see here how this is gonna play out. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here. We're gonna see Lugia into Groudon, picking up an excellent lead here, and this is exactly where you want to see it. And they come into actually rocking Solar Beam in this situation here. They have Thunderbolt. Very curious, farming up so much energy before throwing. This is the problem of having let's see here. I'm gonna throw another Psychic Fang. Probably will survive this. Just barely. Oh my gosh, that was a huge risk there, but it paid off. And then we'll come into... Let this go here. This makes sense to do. Gonna throw the Breaking Swipe. going up to the rock record and then throwing the breaking swipe. We'll see if the opponent chooses to shield. Okay, I'm gonna throw another breaking swipe at this Florges here. This Moonblast almost certainly will definitely not KO. They actually choose to go double Disarming Voice, which makes sense. Because the Moonblast wouldn't have KO'd. And they're going to look to reset here. But man, this Lugia is just going to leave with way too much energy. And this Florges has no energy left. So almost certainly going to Sky Attack this Groudon. I'd probably do 1 and throw the Sky Attack. Or maybe like 3 and throw the Aero Blast at them. Okay, going to just throw the Aero Blast. Because I'm assuming they're not going to shield this. Is that better though? Gonna throw the... I guess they need 2 moves here to try to KO. Should be fine here. I'm assuming they'll Moonblast. Oh, they actually Disarming Voice. Another Disarming Voice won't KO, so they will have to get to the Moonblast. I'm going to throw the Sky Attack, and this is going to be enough to take out the Florges. Very nicely played. Nicely done. And we're going to go into this final game here. And we're going to see Sol Galeo into Florges. A crazy lead here. And we're going to see... Oh, interesting here. Going to shield the first one. And then look to Glaciate. Makes sense to switch here into... Could have also stayed, to be honest, but gonna let this go. And then look to throw the Dragon Claw. We'll be able to control switch no matter what. But obviously want to throw beforehand. Okay, they just take the shield advantage. But this Glaciate... Okay, they're actually going to throw here. Doesn't want to get debuffed. Groudon? No, it's actually Zapdos here. Gonna throw the... this is interesting here. Gonna throw the Psychic Fang and then switch out into Lugia. And basically just gonna look to sack the Lugia. They're gonna need 2 Thunderbolts here to KO. And probably gonna look to throw the Sky Attack. He's gonna let this go. And then farm this Zapdos down. I guess you shield this, right? Because the floor just can't do anything. Though I think this... Oh, it actually is a Thunderbolt. And then... Honestly, I would have just Solar Beamed here. But... Yeah, I would have just Solar Beamed here because they actually will end up shielding. I guess the potential Iron Head. They haven't showed Solar Beam, but it would be nice to see the Solar Beam through 2 shields. And they will throw the Moonblast. And they're probably going to do 1 and throw the... It's just not going to be enough here. 1 and throw the Psychic Fang. And we'll be able to survive another Moonblast. And make it to another move here. I guess if you would have Solar Beamed, you actually would have lost the game. Because this floor just would have been able to make it to enough moves here to win the game. And able to win. Very nice. I don't know if that was a 4-0 or 3-1, probably a 4-0. Very nicely done. We're going to see everyone in the final round. All right. Going against a Frostfire, another talented Master League battler. They are rocking Giratina Origin and Mega Slowbro, Excadrill, Primarina, Snorlax, and Regice. And we're going to see how this is going to go. Okay, we're actually going to see Mega Slowbro versus Lugia. Should be a favorable matchup for Lugia. I guess Mega Slowbro does have access to Ice Beam. So we'll see how that's going to play out here. But this is where you want to see it, right? Because you don't want to see it on the Rhyperior. One Ice Beam definitely doesn't KO. Does do quite a bit of damage. Gonna throw the Aero Blast. We'll see if this Mega Slowbro decides to shield or not. Does not decide to shield, and looks like Lugia is going to be able to... Oh, actually no, they're going to be able to a surf doesn't KO here, right? So, oh, it's actually reached the ice beam. Able to, and we're gonna see what's in the back. It is going to be the Excadrill. This is kind of a tough situation here. Oh, they actually choose no shield here, so that's actually really nice. They did a lot of damage and gonna come into. They're gonna be able to reach a move here. I don't know if you have to shield, but it's probably, I don't know here. They will come into Giratina. I was gonna say probably best to shield. Yeah, this is gonna come in. Oh, it does have access to Brutal Swing. Gonna let this go in case they decide to go for the bait. Oh my gosh, they have Dragon Pulse here. Wow, that is absolutely terrible here. That is absolutely terrible. Tricky. Very tricky here. Gonna throw another Brutal Swing at this Mega Ampharos. Can it reach the move? Okay, but that's actually... No, that's actually not good here at all. That's not good. You shield this, but they will throw the Shadow Ball. Will they be able to outpace here? Yeah, they will be. Okay, well, nicely played by the opponent. The Dragon Pulse here was really nice here. I think shielding the Drill Run probably would have been the play there, but nicely done by the opponent. Oh. But this drill is pretty tricky for the team. We're going to see Lugia into Giratina. Going to switch out into Kyurem. Going to be met by... Oh, interesting switch here. Because this should be favorable for Kyurem, right? The Ice Beam's only neutral here, so curious what this switch is about. I'm not gonna shield this. And then we'll throw the Dragon Claw. I probably would have attempted the CMP tie with the Mega Slowbro here. Let's see. Here comes Drill. Okay, you let this go. Well, now you just come into Rhyperior and go to town here, right? Rhyperior's going to go to town. They probably... Okay. Well, you throw the Breaking Swipe at this Rhyperior. Going to shield. Do one and throw the Breaking Swipe. You know that they don't have a bait move. So they're going to throw the Breaking Swipe. Then probably look to switch to Lugia. Yeah. And then you just farm down here. Don't shield. And this game's over, right? You just throw Sky Attack at the... Gonna farm all the way down. And then one and throw the Sky Attack. Yeah, and they kind of have to shield, otherwise they're just gonna get... This is still a little bit tricky here. Because this Drill could undercharge. But honestly, like, the Rhyperior will survive a Drill Run at that health. And plus the clock is going to be up. Or do you stay here, force it to throw? You force it to throw. They're going to have to throw again. You just let this go. And then come into Rhyperior. And farm it all the way down. Shield this. And the one Drill Run doesn't KO here anyways. You probably can throw the Breaking Swipe at them. If you really want to. Yeah. Whoa, does Drill win the CMP versus Rhyperior? Okay, I guess it does. I did not realize that. I thought Rhyperior would for sure win CMP. Okay, nicely done. Okay, we're going to be going off into the third game here. It's 1-1 into the set. Let me go ahead and speed this up. And we're going to see Solgaleo into... you shield this? Yeah, Solgaleo into Mega Slowbro, which is obviously a terrible matchup for Solgaleo. Gonna have to try to win switch here almost at all costs. Does get the attack fall, which is guaranteed. You shield again. Okay, I'm not going to shield this. Switch here would be really, really nice. Okay. The opponent chooses no shield. You shield this, right? Gonna let it go. Oh yeah, okay, did shield it. I thought it's gonna let it go. Interesting. And they come into Mega Slowbro. Gonna throw the Dragon Claw. This is gonna be a difficult farm down though for Mega Slowbro. It's definitely possible. It'll definitely get the farm down, right? Probably. And they come into, oh my goodness, that is very bad here. Oh my goodness, there's absolutely no way here. Okay, gonna throw the Brutal Swing. Can probably reach this next Brutal. Oh, cannot reach the Brutal Swing here. Oh, that is brutal here. And this Shadow Ball is gonna do a tremendous amount of damage. Had to catch the Dragon Pulse or something. Even then, catching the Dragon Pulse wouldn't have done very much good here because there's nothing really Solgaleo can do to Giratina. So just going to get farmed down. Now going into this final game here, can GCB tie it up, or has Frostfire cool down GCB on the 9th set here? Will this be the first negative set, or will this be the tie draw, getting the second draw? Or we will see here, we're going to see Rhyperior into Excadrill. This is a okay situation here. They will throw at good timing. So they are at, you could double shield. Gonna double shield and then, okay, gonna let this go. Okay, gonna throw the... Do you just let it go down because you expect it to be Giratina in the back? Okay, no, gonna switch. It is Giratina in the back. Guess that makes sense too. Gonna throw the Brutal Swing. This looks like it's game over here, right? This is game over. You just let this Mega Ampharos go down. You let this go. No point in shielding. They will Dragon Pulse here. And then you just come into... You just shield and farm down. Doesn't really matter here. And this game is over. It's going to end off with a 2-2 set here. And the opponent went for the only logical play there, which was to try to go for the one-shot. Or not the one-shot, the super effective damage. And yeah, this is definitely game over here. Gonna throw another Glaciate. And now this Ice Beam is gonna do no damage here. The opponent actually conceding here, but gonna finish it off with Rhyperior since the Water Guns were double debuff there. Fantastic run, picking up 7 of 9 set wins, and the other 2 were draws. Very nicely played. Thank you very much for sending me these battles. If you want to join the Pogo Raids Discord, I'm sure someone from Pogo Raids will comment below. Don't forget to join them. They run draft tournaments in Great League, Ultra League, and in Master League, Classic. I think all sorts of variations, Open Masters and Open Mega Masters. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.